Why is the metaverse termed as the revolutionary technology today?
So, metaverse is termed as a revolutionary technology because of the possibilities and freedom that it brings, and it is almost the way we think of things and how it moves from 2D interfaces to 3D interfaces. For example, today a 2D dashboard is so complex because we can't arrange data in a way which is simple for us to consume, and since we don't have the 3D layer, we crunch a lot of things into the 2D visual screen. And also it kind of bridges the gap between the way we interact and the real world, in the sense that today when we want to ride a bicycle on a virtual machine, it's like you're using the keyboard or some kind of controller, which is not the exact representation. It's more like, but with the Oculus you can actually feel like you're riding a bicycle because your world is completely immersed and you're holding the handlebars using the controllers.
Okay. So, what do you think is the role, since you are the product manager, and so what is the major role of a product manager in a metaverse project like this, like Fabric?
So, the role of product manager starts unfolding, and it becomes very huge very quickly when we move to a metaverse product, since you're not just looking at everyday daily activities of managing tech stacks and things like that. You're also obligated to be a creative director, in a sense, how an art department would have it, or a movie department, a game department would have it. You will have to have a similar role. So I think it's gonna be split into multiple roles, and multiple PMs are gonna be managing something like this. And you have to think a little bit more, because it's not just that you're testing 2D screens like how you do. For example, in today's world, if you want to test a device, you have a certain device, but this doesn't stop at that. You have to test how people would actually use it, like how you would test a real world object.
Since metaverse is not yet out there completely in every sector, what do you think, who will benefit the most out of the product that you're managing and building?
So I think mostly it would be, initially it would start with enterprises, and slowly, like every other product, it would get into users' hands with adoption. But initially, the people who have the trouble of seeing data or visualizing things in a way where it's very, very critical, for example, a doctor operating, training them would be very, very training them with a video does not make sense. It only provides so much data for them. They have to have practical experience. I feel like there it would be a better match.
So, when do you think this product will be adopted widely, like to the general users out there?
Yeah, so there are lots of factors involved. For example, first things are like, generally with any media-based technology, it's adopted by games or the entertainment field. So we do see a lot of VR, virtual reality and augmented reality experiences coming out there. But to completely adopt it, I think it really depends on how fast people are accepting devices. Instead of using a phone, if your everyday device becomes a glass, a pair of augmented reality glasses, it would be much better. And I think that is still a little far away, but I think people are willing to adopt. Whenever we give the device to someone, they're very happy to see it, very happy to wear it, but it's still not something that you would use as a daily driver like your phone. So we have to wait for that time.
Okay. So, how does someone get started with metaverse?
So there are lots of engines and smaller examples that you can get started today. There are lots of game engines out there like Unreal Engine or Unity that already lets you kind of get started with it, and you can already send it to people. But really it's more about the creative part, like how creative you can get with it and make the most of the virtual reality environment. You can get started today by, if you have a modern phone, anything that you bought in the last 5 years, I think you already have the capability to view augmented reality experiences. For virtual reality experiences, I think like there's lots available in the malls and stuff like that. But the best thing would be to buy Oculus device or a modern virtual reality device that will give you a better impact.
This is how a user gets started. If someone wants to get started in the metaverse industry in terms of development of these.
Oh yeah. So actually you can get started today by just going through a lot of just trying to build some gamified experience using Unreal Engine or Unity. It would get you started. There is also web experience, that is where we as Fabric are fully involved in, and it takes as much as like 10 minutes to get you started into like building these experiences. Beyond that, it's not a technological limit, it's more of your creative energy flowing into it.